GOG, garden of good creativity. We get free, be me, working effortlessly. Do what you love and then allow the prosperity. You got this. Make good, make it your own. You know you got the power in your mind, heart, body, and soul to grow dreams, grow faith, grow you. Create authentically in the garden of good. Live, and love. In a garden gonna dig big and trust. In the garden gonna create, elevate, celebrate, and love. It truly is all about the love. Yes, my beautiful, beautiful friends. It is so good to see you, Nick, Joelle, and Kaz. And I know more people are going to flip up in here as we go. I think I saw Catherine come up in here, my friend Catherine. Oh my gosh. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Garden of Good. I'm Amy Steinberg, and we're coming to you from Asheville, North Cackalax. And the first thing I like to do before we do anything is imagine the energy of love, okay, coming from your heart. In fact, let's take a deep breath in together and sigh it out. And then in the comments, I'd like you to put where you're watching from, and we're going to imagine the light from Seagrove, North Carolina, where Joellen is. It's just, I'm seeing on the map of your mind, imagine North Carolina lighting up with love. It is expressing down there through Seagrove up to Asheville. Then we go whoosh, all the way up to Toronto, and you can move your body and imagine that you're moving the light of love that is the Garden of Good. We go over there to Warwick, Warwick, Rhode Island, where Martha is, and then Charleston, Catherine, the amazing Catherine, the Grateful, is joining us from Charleston for the very first time. Good friend of mine, Lisa, we go all the way out west to Olympia, Washington, just imagining the light moving across the map, and then back again. Chrislyn, hello, my love, in Nashville, Tennessee. And then, you're digging my New York City vibes. I know that Sherry is up there in Victoria, BC. So we're going, shoo, shoo, shoo. Imagine the light just going everywhere. And then we've got in the Southwest UK, Kaz coming all the way from over the pond. We are so glad you're here. Listen, Kaz, we know that it's late for you there. So we're just so happy you're here. And then back into Charlotte. Yes. And where's Kat? Kat, where are you watching from? You're in Charlotte, right? Okay.
Yes.
So Charlotte. So I think we've covered everything. Let's take a deep breath in and just imagine that the light of your heart is just expressing out all over this beautiful, brilliant globe, this beautiful earth that, for all we know, is the only place where life exists. Certainly ours, right? It is a miracle, an absolute miracle that we're here together. And I just love that. And I always like to remind us what we're doing. This is the 44th week of Garden of Good. And this week, the topic is change. The topics are decided based on my book, Make Good. And I just like to remind us what we were doing here, which is there's been quarters, and we're in the final quarter. We're in the soul quarter. And what we do here is that each quarter, we invite ourselves to look at a root and a fruit, something we want to grow on the inside and something that we want to manifest on the outside. And we use this time to focus it and create it. And if you've been with me from the beginning, you know that my first fruit during the heart quarter was peace. And my root was peace. And my fruit was the dollhouse, which, led to so many things, led to the book about the dollhouse and then the show about the dollhouse. And now I'm living my fruit. I always like to remind everyone in the garden, kindness first. And I'm not talking about to each other. I'm talking particularly about to yourself, because as we get creative, as we draw, as we sing, as we write, whatever we do, we are our worst critics. And I want you to put down the critic stick for this hour, for this 2 hours, however long we're together. Just let that shit go. Okay. And then just open you is what joy is to me. Joy is remaining open. Yes. So we're remaining open to whatever comes up tonight, whatever we need to hear. Gardener's choice means you do as little as or as much as you want. Camera on, camera off. And it's always confidential. Now, I got so excited about this little chant that I wrote for us to start with tonight. I loved it so much that I made a track. I'll show you. I will show you a little bit of it. And if you're here tonight in the garden, I promise, if you are present tonight, I will email you this little track. And now it's really rough, but I'm going to sing the song first. And now I want you to sing with me, because singing, especially deep breathing, it does what? What does it do? Somebody put it in the comments. It affects I want to know that my teachings here are making an influence on somebody. Hi, AJ and Asheville in the other room. What is it doing when we sing? Our nervous system, right? The parasympathetic nervous system. Lisa P. Yes. All right. So goes like this. Change, change. It is safe to change. Change, change. I'm allowed to change. So easy. Change, change. It is safe to change. Sing it with me. Come on. Change, change. I'm allowed to change. Then we go change. Change, change, change. You can sing change any way you want to sing it. You can sing change, change. Change, change, change. Whatever you want to sing. Change, change. Come on. It is safe to change. You're safe here. Change, change. I'm allowed to change. You're allowed. Change, change. It is safe to change. Change, change. I'm allowed to change. Then we sing change, 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 change. You're allowed. It is safe. You're allowed. It is safe. Make it your own. Sing with me. Harmonize. Come on. Change, change. It is safe to change. Keep it going. Change, change. I'm allowed to change. Change, change. It is safe to change. Change, change. I'm allowed to change. Change, change. It is safe to change. Breathe it in. Change, change. I'm allowed to change. Change, change. Take a deep breath in. Sigh it out. Now I want you to hear this track, you guys. Have fun with this. Change is good, and I am grateful. Change is good, and I am grateful. Change, change. It is safe to change. Change, change. I'm allowed to change. Change, change. It is safe to change. Change, change. All right, I'm not going to play you the whole thing because, I want you to look forward to receiving that MP3 in your email box. I'm going to read you a blog post that Meg put August 6th, and it was after Andrea had passed. Okay. So this is really awesome. And if you can hang in there for it, it's a little bit long, but it is really, really, really good. It touched me so much that I was like, oh my God, I have to read this to the gardeners tonight. I have to, because as we talk about change, obviously the most intense, immense change would be physical death. Yes. And it's happening. It happens all the time. It's every day. It's going to happen to all of us. None of us will be spared of this. But right now, we just recently lost Kat Williams here locally, and so there's just a lot of. It's wintertime. It's the time to sort of talk about the changes and things like this. And today the topic is change. So here we go. I'm going to read this to you. Come back to me as lightning, faith, doubt, and how Andrea still leaves me love notes. Okay. This is from Megan Falley. The morning I woke up without Andrea in this world, I wrote my first line of poetry in ages. Come back to me as lightning, I pleaded to the page, a certain snap in the sky. The poem, scribbled in a sleep-deprived stupor of grief, went on to list the many forms I want Andrea to return to me in. Turns out that's just about every form imaginable. All kinds of weather, the entire spectrum of flora and fauna, flotsam, jetsam, every shade in the color wheel of emotion, fury and wonder, creativity and longing, faith and doubt. Come back to me as doubt, I wrote. Visit me as the voice in my head that says I'm over-interpreting, imagining it all. Come in the form of losing all my faith for a single day, then come back as something undeniable, our initials carved into a tree we'd never seen. My love, I cannot bear to lose you. Let me find you again in everything. That's the poem. But lightning was the first thing on the list. The symbol that felt most specific, most signature, the closest thing to Andrea's autograph. After all, Andrea authored the book, You Better Be Lightning. The title derived from the love poem that she wrote, What Love Is, one of their best. And the day they began to die, Colorado, relentlessly sunny Colorado, broke character. Hail battered our twin skylights in a percussion of sound. Was this the sky applauding Andrea, welcoming them to the heavens with a drum roll? Are you doing this, baby? I whispered, though it was too late for them to answer. But then it happened, a bright, bold, a flash. A seam ripped open in the sky as if creating a portal, a doorway for Andrea to enter. While Andrea was a wise sage in countless ways, they were also an emotional tilt-a-whirl, a drama queen tattered in boy clothes. Tiny Tornado was one of my many nicknames for them. If my love were to return as weather, of course it would be dynamic. Not damaging, no tsunamis, no earthquakes, but absolutely electric, striking, lightning. The thing about signs, like little valentines from the dead, is that in retelling, no one seems to react with the same awe you felt receiving them. I've been on both sides. A friend's ecstatic glint as she recounts the song that came on at just the right moment, me nodding, hearing only that echo, not the initial scream. I worry this kind of astonishment rarely translates outside the present moment. Still, at the risk of the miracle getting muddled in translation, I share this anyway. This might come as a surprise, but in our bedroom, Andrea and I have an 82-inch flat screen. We always hated the look of televisions, an eyesore, a feng shui nightmare, but we are obsessed with our Samsung frame TVs. When turned off, they masquerade as framed artwork, and there are thousands of options from Van Gogh to Basquiat, I'm not saying that right, Basquiat, I don't know. Changing the image isn't hard, but it's not the kind of thing that happens by accident. Andrea, the handsomest Luddite, never learned how. Every piece of art that's appeared on the screen, deliberate, chosen by me, after pushing at least 7 buttons, typically more. Then the other day, I went into our bedroom and saw the picture had changed. It's the picture here that I put on the thing. It was something I would never choose. Old-timey, masculine. There were sailboats, fishermen, a big lake stretching across the canvas, stormy, dark, brooding. My mother had been staying with me, helping me microdose the quiet of a house without my love, so I assumed she'd picked it. But she's a septuagenarian and not exactly a savant with a remote either. Mom, did you choose this picture? I asked. What are you talking about? She asked back. Turns out she hadn't touched it. Neither had I. That's so weird, I said. Hope flickered. Desperate, unreasonable hope. I'd heard that spirits travel through electricity, that they play in the wires, chatter in the lights, hitch rides on radio waves. Maybe it was Andrea, I said. Of course I wanted it to be a sign. Of course I was searching, over-interpreting, brimming with faith and doubt. I looked up the artist and the title, praying for some hidden message. The painting was called Approaching Thunderstorm by Martin Johnson Heed, oil on canvas, 1800s, currently on display at the Met. Seemingly no connection, no significance, no secret code. My hope was snuffed out like a light. There was nothing special about this random act of technology, a meaningless glitch. The house felt gutted again. Silence seemed to pool thick and heavy. I was about to exit the room and continue the chore of living when I saw it. In the top left corner of the painting, so subtly rendered that one could definitely miss it, but absolutely there, a bolt of lightning, a certain snap in the sky. You see it, right? Oh my God, I shouted, beckoning my mother back. I pointed at the jagged miracle of white paint etched in the landscape. I told her the story of the poem. We laughed. We cried. I was struck. A jolt of electricity coursed through my body, illuminating all of my darkness. Gibby, I kept shouting. Gibby, whoa. Suddenly, I didn't feel like a widow. My love was in the house again, alive, alive, alive. What was this I was experiencing? Actual delight? This delight wasn't unfamiliar. I'd felt it when Andrea rattled off a particularly clever zinger or wrote something undeniably brilliant. I was impressed, proud of them, honored to be the first ears and eyes on the brilliance that spilled forth from them so casually. And Andrea had this particular way, this look when they were proud of themselves too, a coy, confident, tickled air, a shy smirk. Even Andrea was not immune to their own radiant charm. And I felt that presence in the house again, the sense that they were impressed with the creative way they had returned, their ethereal love letter, that they didn't need a physical body to flirt like a champion, that they answered my poem with a painting. How fitting, how us. Of course, this is how we communicate now, I thought. Art. The rest of that evening, I waltzed around the house with a smile, a song in my step, like newly in love. Doing dishes was a joy. It was as if I could feel Andrea's arms wrap around my waist as my hands were in the deep, soapy water, whispering, "Did you see what I did back there?" "Yes, that was really good, baby," I said into the ether. The sink above the window was open. The wind in my hair felt like Andrea's fingers. Wasn't it? Wasn't that my love laughing in my ear? And aren't you also impressed that I finally figured out how to work the TV? In the days since, I've been desperate for the picture in the frame to change again, for Andrea to curate a different beauty for me to wake up to every day, for constant communication. I guess what that translates to is I just want them to still be alive. I know they can't perform this miracle on command. I know, I don't want to be greedy, but maybe this is the miracle that they are returning to me as I asked in everything, that the world itself has become a gallery that they are building for me, that every time I look up and notice something spectacular, I can imagine it was their hand nudging my chin, a gesture saying, "Look here, baby, you'll love this." Thank you for listening. I hope it translates. Love, Meg. Plus Andrea forever. So I thought I'd share that with you because I thought it was really, really powerful. Breathe that in. I had chills the whole time I was reading it out loud. Now, for something completely different. And now for my update on my roots and fruits, and then I would like to hear from each and every one of you or anybody who wants to share. So my update is that I'm back from New York City, right? And I had a very illuminating trip. It's perfect that the topic has changed tonight because something has changed in me from the trip. The trip transformed me, helped me become crystal clear once again about my ministry, about my message, about what I'm doing on the planet, about why I'm here. And it's profound and it's subtle, and I'm grateful. I'm grateful for those who came to the show. I'm grateful for those who live streamed the show. And I am really excited to take the show to Austin and San Diego and Atlanta. And then after that, I'm not sure. I did also make a decision. It's not firm, but I am not willing to give up Tuesday nights. Like, I'm not willing to quit Garden of Good next year, but I'm not going to do it's not going to be as involved. Like, I think what we're going to do is like a half hour. starting in January. If you want to come, if you still want to come, no pressure for anybody to keep coming, but I'm going to continue doing the Garden of Good, and we're going to do one creative prompt and one like home play every week. And it's a way for us to check in, a way for us to be creative, a way for me to continue my ministry, because this is my ministry. And that was what came crystal clear, is creative expression, inspiring others. Like, this is what I am supposed to be doing on the planet right now. So I cannot quit doing it. I don't want to quit doing it. Many of you know this has not been a great moneymaker for me. This has been a really great way to keep me on track, to remind me of who I am. And I'm studying currently for my doctorate in advanced consciousness. So again, having something to create every single week, even if it's just a simple prompt, like I won't do everything as involved, but thumbs up for that. You guys give me some thumbs up for that. Are we stoked about that? Yeah. And there's no pressure, but I do think that some of us, especially those who have been coming every single week or most weeks, we would really miss it if it just stopped. So tonight, what we're going to do, our doodle is going to be dun, 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 a cocoon, a chrysalis, chrysalin. Take a photo of my little chrysalis. So what you're going to do is, first things first, you're going to make a branch. You're going to make a branch, and your branch can go any which way. You can go ahead and get out your stuff if you don't have it out. But I'm just going to make a crude branch to show you my branch. A branch. My branch is wavy. It could be more jerky if you want it to be. It could have leaves on it. It could have flowers on it. It could have whatever on it. It could be any kind of. And then you're going to make a cocoon, which it could be really, it's the shape that seems to make, that I've seen all the cocoons look like are like, it's like this. It's like there's a top and then there's a pod, right? Kind of like that. And this is where a butterfly is born. And what we're going to be doing, what you're going to be doodling while I give you your talk, is you're going to be doodling the imaginal cells. Okay. Now, I wanted to read a little bit about imaginal cells. Imaginal cells in a butterfly are clusters of undifferentiated cells that lie dormant in the caterpillar, and they contain the blueprint for the adult butterfly. During metamorphosis, most of the caterpillar's body breaks down, and the imaginal cells use the resulting nutrients to rapidly divide and differentiate into the structures of the adult insect, such as wings, legs, antennae. So the metamorphosis that happens inside of the cocoon, this is the programming, right? And how I wanted to, I don't know what imaginal cells look like, but basically I want you to make just fill your cocoon with circles, all different sizes of circles. You can make them big, you can make them small. It can be very meditative, filling in your cocoon with circles. And then once you fill in your circles, you will color them in. Now you could make your cocoon could be, all blue, all greens, or it could be like mine, which is, of course, always, my favorite color, rainbow. So this is mine again. I'm going to show it to you. And don't worry about the writing, because we're going to do a writing thing after my talk. Right now, just worry about your cocoon and your imaginal cells and coloring those in while I give you a little talk titled Metamorphosis. This might be specifically for our beloved Chrysalin as well as for everyone else here. Metamorphosis and the Great Unpretending. Okay, that's the title of my talk tonight. It's a tiny talk. It should be just about as long as you putting in your imaginal cell. So tonight our theme is change, and it's the kind of change that I'm talking about tonight is the kind that happens within us and through us. And I want to invite you into the butterfly metaphor a little bit deeper, because as I was thinking about the chrysalis, what I loved about the chrysalis and why we're working on the cocoon as opposed to drawing a butterfly is because inside the chrysalis is everything. It's the caterpillar and the butterfly. It's the potentiality. It's the possibility. It's everything. And because we're in winter, we are in that transformative time, right? So if you're willing tonight in the garden and during this time, you get to witness your own metamorphosis, which sounds like a lot of people were sharing about that tonight, that you're witnessing. In other words, we have, Sherry talking about her witnessing her metamorphosis into a person that can change her mind. The witnessing of Kaz taking that time to, make these choices and changes and do things for herself. This is the metamorphosis that we're presencing the awareness of tonight. So think of the caterpillar just quietly eating, crawling, doing its thing, and then it creates this chrysalis. And inside it's dark, it's strange, it's dissolving. The caterpillar basically melts. And then the butterfly emerges, and it's got wings, and it's air, and it's flight, and it's change. It is the perfect metaphor for transformation. And it doesn't always feel pretty, and it doesn't always feel smooth. So I wanted to tie in a blog that I recently read called, I love the title, Aging Out of Fucks, the neuroscience of why you suddenly can't pretend anymore. It's called Aging Out of Fucks, the neuroscience of why you suddenly can't pretend anymore. It's very fascinating to me. It talks about how our brains and our bodies shift, especially later in life. Though honestly, it can show up whenever. When you stop pretending and you stop performing. And this is really hard for me because I'm a performer. That's what I do for a living, right? But we stop saying yes when we actually mean no. We start peeling away the walls of the house that we built for everyone else, and we begin to build the home for ourselves. So from the blog, it said the brain is undergoing, I loved this phrase, I had never heard it, synaptic pruning. It's letting go of neural pathways that are no longer necessary. The ones built for people pleasing, for constant approval, for hiding your real voice. Think about like your brain is sort of Marie Kondoing itself. It's asking, does this serve me? Does this light me up? Does this align with who I'm becoming? And if the answer is no, it just starts to loosen the ties. That's a kind of metamorphosis, the caterpillar's structure breaking down so the butterfly structure can form. So this blog, it reminds us that this loosening of this old performance systems can feel really scary. We're used to getting rewarded for being small or quiet or compliant or saying yes or whatever it is. But the butterfly does not ask permission to grow wings. When you begin to grow wings, folks are going to say you changed. They're going to be unsettled by you. The systems that you have around your previous self might groan. But this is about becoming authentic. And it's saying, yes, I am evolving. I am rewriting my story. And what you gain in this process is clarity. This is what I just gained in New York City. Clarity, authenticity, and freedom. My show is I tell the story about how I really wanted to be a rock star and I wanted to be a megastar. But the truth of who I am is I am a mini star. I am a minister. I am a ministar. I am a little light in the world that inspires your little light, right? And that's who I am. I'm owning it. And such freedom in that. There's such freedom in going, you know what? I don't want to be on Broadway in a flop. It was seeing Kristen Chenoweth in a flop was so spiritually, it was like this weird spiritual gift. I don't know why. Because I think that that's what I want is like this big superstardom or something. And it's just not what my soul really wants to just inspire and create and do my shows that I write, right? So anyway, back to the blog. The blog says you're gaining real relationships instead of transactional ones. You're gaining time and energy that you've spent emotional labor for others. You're gaining you. This is what I keep hearing tonight. You're gaining you. So tonight's craft is not just doodling a cocoon. It's an act of witnessing your own shift. Maybe you're drawing wings. Maybe you're done performing. Maybe you're getting ready to unfurl. let the cocoon, your soul house this story, the story of transformation, the story of leaving the old stage behind and stepping into a new one. I invite you to think right now, as I'm telling you this, think of what you're done performing. One story that you're done telling. I'm done saying I'm not enough, or there's my stardom isn't not enough, or I'm not successful enough. Fuck that. I'm over it. And I think I needed to do the show to get over it because I don't know how much I told you about when my mom saw the show, but when my mom saw the show, which, ultimately performers are always seeking their mother's love. Like that's what you're doing as a performer. And I'm lying in bed with my mother and I'm telling her, I think I want to move to New York and I want to make the show. I would see it on Broadway. I see it as being this really big hit. And she looks at me and she's like, no, Amy, like now, like what you're doing now is really awesome. And it was like the thing I needed to hear my entire life. And it just loosened the grip. It's what a gift, right? So one truth that you are ready to shift. Think about it. And notice that the space between what has been and what is becoming, that's the chrysalis, the sacred in between, the sacred in between. Okay. And I feel like I'm still in it. Like I'm not sure what the new dream is or what because it doesn't feel anymore like it's Broadway or big rock star. It's something else, but I think it's just to continue my ministry, to be a minister. That's my journey, to honor it, to trust it, to know that the butterfly in me is forming. And let's remember tonight something else about change, that it's not really something that we chase after. Although sometimes we can if we decide to change our body or we decide to change, move or do something like that. But the inner change is something that's like, it's that place where you just can't fucking pretend anymore. It's the soul saying, finish your story and fly. So tonight in the Garden of Good, I want you to give yourself permission to melt, to reshape, and then to re-emerge. Give yourself permission. It's so weird that this is what everybody said. Permission to say, I have changed. I am becoming. And then we give each other that witness. So I want to thank you for being here. I also want us to pledge to each other that we will shift, we will fly, we'll become. And then I found 2 quotes about change that I really love that I want to share, which is one's from Oprah. I just love this quote. The greatest discovery of all time is that a person can change his future by merely changing his attitude. And that's the fucking truth, y'all. And it is. And also in the same breath, Maya Angelou says, if you can't change it, change your attitude. And that's kind of what's going on for me. I'm changing my attitude about my beautiful, wonderful life. My life where I got to get flown to England to play at a beautiful wedding. I'm just so grateful. So now, and so it is. That's the end of my little talk. I'm going to read you what is around mine, okay? And what I want you to do is sort of write something, stream of consciousness about change for yourself. This is what I wrote. Because something that kept coming up for me was safety around change. So I wrote, change is safe. Change is natural. Change is okay. It's okay for me to change. I allow new ways of being to unfold, and I allow people and dreams to fall away, making space for more good in myself and in the world. I am changing, and it's a beautiful thing. Life is a miraculous wonder. That's what I wrote. So I'm going to give you a moment to write your change words around your cocoon. And while you do it, why not play my new track? I do the PayPal, I do the Cash App, I do the Venmo, all the things. I say suggested, but I never want to limit you. You give me whatever you can or want. Also, The garden grams are still in action. Chrysalin's still sending them. There's a list, an address list if you want to just send out some Christmas cards or something to gardeners, or just however you want to communicate. Just like Kaz said, the reason she came tonight was because of her garden gram that she got. I mean, that's awesomeness. And I was very gung ho. I have so much garden gram stuff, and I've been so bad about it. So I really cannot shame anybody for not doing grams, because I've been bad. It's kind of been Chrysalin's wheelhouse. Let's be honest here. Okay. Two more things really quick. Your affirmation card. I made an affirmation card that said something very obvious, but change is good and I'm grateful. I needed something simple. Now, I'm going to brag, because I do. I have an affirmation card for every week we've been in the garden. These are 44 of these. I love it. I'm going to shuffle it and I'm going to pick one, because I've been doing that lately and it's been great. And I love this. My body is fun. Anyway, okay. There's that. And then also there is a little tiny bit of home play, which is, number 1, notice the ways you are changing. Number 2, notice your authenticity. Where are you sitting with that? And then notice your preferences. Like, oh, I don't like that anymore. Oh, I do like that anymore. Oh, I don't like them anymore. Like, I'm having this weird thing where friends are changing. Like, my friend group is changing. I'm having some friends fall away. I had a major disagreement with a very good friend. And it's hard, but there's a point, kind of like the don't give a fuck article, where you're like, I'm not going to be begging people to be my friends. Like, if you are my friend, you're going to forgive me when I fuck up, and I'm going to forgive you when you fuck up, and we're human, and it's going to be okay. Like, I don't want to fight anymore with people. I just don't. It's very all my AA, I don't fight anyone or anything anymore. That's one of my favorite things from recovery that you hear over and over again. I just gave up the debating society. I don't want to be right. And when I'm wrong, I admit it and I say I'm sorry, because I'm wrong a lot. By the way, just in case you guys were wondering, I'm wrong a lot. Okay. So I want to say a small prayer for us. So I'm going to invite you to just take a deep breath in. Feel your body, feel your beautiful, changing, ever-changing form. Become conscious of it. Becoming grateful for every single part of this glorious form that you have taken. I just presence the awareness of the divine imaginal cells that exist within everything. The divine transformation that is happening in every moment, every day. So incredibly grateful for the Garden of Good, for the transformative nature and power of this group, for the love in this room, for the connections that are made, for the upliftment, for the enjoyment, for the drawing and the arting and the genius that each and every one of us possess. I'm just so, so grateful for our time together. I'm so grateful for all the love offerings that come in. I'm so grateful for gratitude itself. And so I know that each person in the Garden of Good tonight has an amazing family-soaked, Friendsgiving, Thanksgiving, Indigenous Peoples Day, whatever you want to call it, a time which when you're a spiritual being, you're grateful all the time. But we get to see the everyday Joe practicing gratitude this weekend. And what a blessing, what a gift. So we are so grateful, so thankful. And I release my word knowing that it is the law in action. And I say, thank you, God. And so it is. Stick around if you want to hang out after. I love you. Here we go. Play, pray, slay. In the dark, gonna make good today. In the dark, gonna create, elevate, celebrate, and love. I'm Mamie from the GOG, Garden of Good build creativity. We get free, be me, work it effortlessly. Do what you love and then allow the prosperity. You got this. Make good, make it your own. You know you got the power in your mind, heart, body, and soul to grow dreams, grow faith, grow you. Create authentically in the garden of good. Live, and love. In a garden, gonna dig big and trust.